an analyst at Northeastern University, and he's also with the Council on Foreign Relations for us in Boston. Thank you very much for being there. When you see those quite chilling images of the three men, they're all in black, they're in what looks to be military fatigues, Kalashnikovs. They seem to know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's very much apparent, and that contrasts very much with the three attacks in France, which preceded this one. Those were lone wolf attacks, or what I've coined as lone wolf attacks, in the sense that it was an individual person not connected to a group who had some political aims, but also a history of mental instability. And in this case, it's quite different. There's more than one attacker, and these are not amateurs, they're professionals.
Max, as we speak, there is a manhunt going on for these three men some 14 hours later. Are you surprised that they did make their way away from the attack, that they didn't perhaps blow themselves up, as is the case with many other of these attacks?
I'm not surprised. That's a good question. There's a lot of focus on suicide terrorism, understandably, because it's shocking that someone would want to take their own life, and have the ultimate sacrifice. Furthermore, suicide attacks tend to kill more people than do non-suicide attacks. And yet, the vast majority of terrorist attacks are not suicide attacks. Most terrorists want to live, and they expect to get away with it. And so the fact that these attackers had an escape plan is not actually all that surprising at all.
Just in terms of France's reaction, we know France, as we were hearing in Frank Gardner, security correspondent's report, is involved in the fight against ISIS, in campaigns in Mali. It has a hangover from the conflict in Algeria. Where does it go from here?
Well, you might think that as a participant in the coalition against Islamic State, that now that France has been attacked by these seemingly Islamist terrorists who may or may not be connected actually to Islamic State, that there would be pressure, perhaps from the French public on the government to make concessions, to appease the terrorists, to withdraw from the conflict, etc. And indeed, there is some precedent for this, at least in the Spanish case. You may recall that after the 2004 Madrid train bombings, Spain sort of acquiesced to the terrorist demands by withdrawing from Iraq. And yet, that sort of behavior is anomalous. In general, statistically, in the face of terrorism, target countries are much more likely to go on the offensive than to become more conciliatory. And so I expect France to continue being a strong coalition member, helping out the fight against terrorists, not just in the Gulf, but also in the Levant, as well as in Africa.
Max Abrahms, thank you very much. Really good to get your analysis and your perspective there for us from Boston. Thank you.